Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Shoulder Strikes MMA Podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. My name is Matt McSweeney. I am joined by Ty Capone. Ty, how are you feeling on this Friday? We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
I thought you were just going to leave it at yeah.
I'm running on not much sleep, and then I never sleep on the weekend, ever, God forbid. We got the Birds on Monday night. I still don't know if I'm going. I mean, the tickets are...
Yeah, they're just, in your neck of the woods, dude.
The same day Lana Del Rey is in Tampa, the Eagles are in Tampa, so the whole city is going to be just... It's already a disgusting hot mess of shit, and it's going to be even worse. So I'm really questioning myself if I really want to go over and cross that bridge, which I don't like doing. Bad things only happen when you cross the bridge of St.
Why don't you just go see Lana?
Into Tampa. I could, but her tickets aren't that cheap either. It's a problem is NFL games, they think NFL fans are just absolutely loaded with money.
Well,
or they just know they're idiots and will buy them regardless.
I think it's just the supply and demand of there being less events compared to like a baseball game. Like kind of like the UFC's treating it now, where they just know when you come to town, you're like, hey man, we're not going to come to town for another 5 years. These tickets are going to be $600 a piece just to get in the building. So I don't.
Well,
you won't see me at any events, man. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I might make an appearance at Raymond James Stadium. I might not. It's very hot, and when you're up there in the 300s for the first hour or two of sunlight, because the game's at 7:15, not 8:15 for whatever reason. It's kind of brutal. So we'll see. I mean, at least I might tailgate because my sister's going, a bunch of other people are going. Nobody wants to get me a ticket, but it's okay.
But ladies and gentlemen, we do have some fight news to talk about. We have plenty. Actually, a bunch of fights were made. It seemed. We have UFC. What's the first one that was really like UFC 295? I think
295 with Jones and Stipe.
So Jones
needed a co-main, right?
They've
been needing a co-main,
and listen, that
is a good card.
That main event alone is good enough where it was like, all right, I'm excited about that. The more Stipe's talking, the more I'm getting excited about it because he
looks like he's on the juice.
Yeah, right? Exactly.
He looks good.
He always, he always seems like when he takes these, it doesn't affect him the same way it does other people. It's like ring rust or whatever. This guy he's ready to go. He's been fighting fires, and then he gets into the after work. He gets in and throws the gloves on, throws some hands. Some of these times he's absolutely jacked. Some of these times he's not, but it looks like he's ready. I mean, you have to get up for this fight. You got to be ready to go to fight John Jones. So that fight itself was made a while ago, but now we got a co-main, Ty. We got
this card. I didn't realize there was 9 fights that were fully like. This card is good. Like we'll get into the big ones, but like Joshua Van, Kevin Borjas, like 2 young flyweights. That's fun. Dern and Andrade. I love Diego Lopez, Pat Sabatini.
That's a great fucking fight, dude.
Love that fight. Mateusz Rebetsky, Nurullo Aliyev. Love that fight.
Yeah.
I even like Dennis Bazooka and Jamal Emmers. Like the 145 and 155, like Jared Gordon, Marco Madsen. Dude. That'll be, a grind fest. Matt Schnell, Steve Erceg. That could be good.
Give me Steve Erceg for all the money that night, dude.
I think he's going to finish. I think he's going to dust that chin off.
Matt Schnell straight lefts. Well, not that he stinks. It's just more that guy can't take a punch whatsoever, and that's it's a big. We always say it's a big qualification for doing this job. So,
yeah.
And Andrade and Dern
I love this
too.
card, man. I don't know what's I think Dern wins that one, but like she stays standing, she's gonna get beat.
Hurt. She could get hurt on the way in. That's always the magic of this. But Ty, I mean, you want to talk about one of the best co-main events probably we've seen in a long time. Yuri Prochazka's coming back, and he's fighting Alex Poatan for the vacant light heavyweight title. 5-minute rounds of these two legitimate psychopaths. I couldn't imagine matchmaking a fight of 2 more like alike in the fact that they are just literally insane. They both think that they are ancient warriors that are going to get in there.
From different culture. They're like just a different culture version of the other.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, I'm like, oh, actually, they both wear, I think they've both painted their face. I think they've both worn headgear or attire of other, culture. So, yeah, I mean, and they're both fucking terrifying human beings. How about that?
Prochazka will sit in the dark for 6 days and he'll fight his demons, and Pereira will just be out there throwing acting like he's hunting, shooting a fake bow and arrow.
Drowning Glover Teixeira in a river
in
somewhere,
a river, yeah, for fun as his friend. Yeah, that's just the kind of guys we're talking about here. But I saw some instant feedback on this fight that was like Prochazka is going to walk through him. We saw that Pereira's what's it called? His striking or his power doesn't translate to 205, and I was like, I didn't see. I mean, in the Jan Blachowicz fight, I didn't necessarily see that. I mean, Jan Blachowicz can. He's top level of this division, so I'm not going to use that fight as he can't knock people out. Anybody at this weight can knock anyone out. It's that simple. But I'd be curious to see what the odds are for this fight. I don't know if they probably already made them by now, but
hey, so I heard you wanted to go to UFC.
Alex Pereira minus 130, by the way.
I heard you wanted to go to UFC 295. Well, you better start saving up. $677, cheapest ticket.
Yeah, I got a TV. It'll be better on TV than it will be in there. So
we'll do a companion.
Hey, we might as well, dude.
We have to do one. We have to do one for sure sometime.
I definitely want to. I can't wait. I just can't wait for all of these fights. I mean, that's just the first card. So you got Jones, Stipe, and then those. And we just went through all that. Then we have 296, I believe, is the next one. That's in December.
Yeah, December 16th. That was a lot of rumors were trying to target Chandler and Conor for this, but
I don't think they're ever fighting, man. At this point, we're not hearing anything. No one's talking about it. No one's asking any questions. There's no updates. I'm almost convinced that he's never coming back at this point. I don't know. I have no confidence in it whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, all we're getting is videos of him on a stationary bike, very up close. Of him on a stationary bike on a yacht, it appears, in the middle of nowhere.
He always tries to get pictures of his. I was going to say of his hog hanging out. You're like, dude.
Yeah, he loves it. He loves it. I mean, remember the Conor Floyd? Was it the weigh-in or the face-off or the
when he was bricked up?
I mean, he was just
Yeah, I mean, how are you absolutely rocked up right now out on stage? But that's some European shit. That's some shit that just that.
It really is. Honestly, that's
different cultures, brother. But yeah, I mean,
I guess it was summer, maybe sometime around March or May, where they announced Conor and Chandler were going to be the Ultimate Fighter coaches. So we've been kind of waiting at least a big portion of this calendar year for Conor Chandler. It's not coming. It's obviously not coming. I think that if you want to have any kind of anticipation for this fight, you gotta either hope for International Fight Week 2024, which is kind of crazy to think about, or maybe first quarter 2024. If it's not happening in January or February, they're going to push it back till July, I would imagine, but maybe never again. I don't know.
I think they'll do it whenever they can. If they can actually get, I don't know what is really holding this up. I don't know if Conor doesn't want to fight, or it sounds like Chandler's ready to go. Yeah, if he's still on the sauce, can he not pass a drug test? Do they not want to circumvent USADA's authority or whatever? But I don't know. I've checked out of it mentally. I don't really care anymore because as much of I'm a big Conor fan. I fucking love Conor McGregor, but I can't really get too worked up about it. It's almost been 2 years. It's been 2 years, right? 2 years since he's been in the octagon. 2021 was that when that fight was? I believe so. We're moving on close to 2.5, 3 years now that we haven't seen Conor in the cage, and I'm kind of losing interest, because I know when he comes back, it's not going to be what I want it to be. It doesn't seem like. Listen, when I see you getting sauced up all the time, I'm not exactly confident that you're going to go out there and win a fight. That's just my personal opinion.
How old is he now? Is he 35, 36?
No, I don't think he's. I think he's 33. Let's
see, 35.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Turns 36 he just turned 30. I'm sorry. So he's just turned 35. That's that age, man. He's you keep letting time tick by you. You're not going to have anything left. John Jones is just it's kind of crazy to me. John Jones is only almost exactly 1 year older than Conor McGregor. It's kind of crazy.
They've had two completely different career arcs, man. It's pretty remarkable.
two of the legends.
Yeah, you can't take away what those two have accomplished in this sport. But how about? I'm so glad that they finally made this fight, and that now the shit talk can really commence. UFC 296, the main event will be Leon Edwards defending his title against Chaos Colby Covington. Man, now you can go through and argue whether he deserves it or if this is the right fight to make, but they said right away this is what it was going to be, and they finally made it. And my opinion has not changed on this. I think Colby is going to beat the brakes off Leon Edwards, but that's my personal opinion. I shouldn't say beat the brakes off. He's just gonna fucking smother him, man. This fight's gonna be in Las Vegas? Yeah, there's no sort of elevation or anything at play. I think Leon's gonna have good takedown defense, but I think it's not gonna be the problem. He might stop the first 5 or 6, but I think it's gonna look a lot like, not as bad, but kind of like the Masvidal fight, where it just kind of like overwhelms him at a certain point, where he's just, because unless which he definitely could, he has that kind of power to knock Colby out, but I think he's not going to be in that kicking range the whole fight. Like, Colby's going to be in his face throwing hands the entire time. So if he can knock him, maybe hurt him, which we've seen Colby get hurt, but I don't know. That, my opinion, is a Colby Covington decision that kind of just is a boring fight, but he wins.
Colby Covington, 35 years old, so
yeah.
He would join Tyron Woodley as the only 35-plus-year-old fighter to win a championship fight in between the flyweight and, I believe, middleweight divisions. Could be wrong. I think it's going to be a really good fight. Colby hasn't fought in a year and a half. Leon hasn't fought in about 7 months, 9 months, maybe 6 months, something like that. Earlier this year. So
March.
Yeah, I think Leon gets it done. I think he's gonna definitely outstrike him. I think he might be able to hurt him. I think Colby's he's gonna struggle to get in the ground, and it's gonna look kind of weird, because he's much better wrestler, this and that. But I think his age, maybe not ring rust, but again, I think he's just going to slow down a little bit. It's not going to be too noticeable, but I think his takedown numbers, when all said and done in this fight, are not going to look great. Maybe he still gets it done, though. Honestly, I think it could be a close fight, but I don't know, man. I think Leon, I think he's at a great point in his career. I think this is the best version of himself. I think he still has a little bit left to improve on, kind of like Alexa Grasso. She's 30, 31, She still has a little bit to work on, but she's come a long way. Leon's come, such a long way. Remember, he lost that third round, and made me a little nervous when he fought Gunnar Nelson. I remember that, and I was like, man, this guy, this guy's undefeated. I don't know about that. He actually was not undefeated at the time, I believe, but because he lost to Usman and Claudio Silva back in the day. But even then, man, like he had that Seth Basinski 8-second knockout, and then he kind of just was getting a bunch of decisions. He almost didn't knock out Peter Sabata, that dude.
Yeah.
He couldn't finish Cowboy, and then he was in that split with Gunnar. But then I think beating RDA really, I know it wasn't the prime RDA, but that was 2019. RDA still had some left.
For sure.
And then I think that kind of elevated him, and he was ready to honestly go on a nice run, go on a championship run, and then COVID hit, and he just got fucked over. He was supposed to fight Chimaev, 3 times? I don't think he would have won, but he was also supposed to fight Tyron Woodley. He was also supposed to fight Nate Diaz before he, ended up beating him. Beating him with absolute ease, other than 30 seconds of the last round. But
won the contest, but lost the war, I guess, in the grand scheme of things, because that happening did not, that's all we remember really from that.
If there was no time limit, Nate Diaz would have won, is what people have told me. But,
yeah. But it's just when you get put on skates like that by anybody, it's like that's all we remember.
Right.
Yeah. What fight was that? I was in AC, and I think it was Kevin Lee and Edson Barbosa. And Edson Barbosa hit Kevin Lee with this spinning heel kick that just grazed the top of his head, and he started doing the chicken dance. I can't tell you what he won the fight. I can't tell you what else happened in that fight other than him doing that chicken dance and me losing my fucking mind in the stand. So, those
Were
moments
you also doing
matter.
the chicken dance?
No, I was rooting for Kevin Lee. I had him inside the distance, and then they stopped the fight in between the 4th and 5th round, I believe, was what happened.
Oh, wow. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, shout out. That was the same night that Ricky Simone choked out Merab, and the fight ended after it.
When he
Mark
went to
Goddard
sleep?
stepped in and said, "If he can't stand up, the fight's over." And they ended the fight. So that was a good night. But
Also, a great referee there.
yeah, and in the co-main of this is they're running back, or they're not running back, but Pantoja and Royval. Is that true? Is that really what
Yeah,
they're doing?
I believe that's a rematch, right? Or no?
I think, yeah, no, I
'Cause I thought Pantoja dusted him off.
he did. He rear naked
couple
choked
fights ago.
him in 2021. So I've never been a big Brandon Royval guy. I don't know.
No, me either. But his last 3 fights,
He's nifty though. He's like he's little. You know, he figures a way out all the time. But it's just I don't know.
I mean, you got to think of since he's come to the UFC, man. He's only lost to Moreno and Pantoja, and the Moreno fight was I won't say fluky. I mean, he probably was losing. He was going to lose that fight, 7, 8, 9 times out of 10. But the shoulder injury, I had Bontarine in that fight. And it was a very close fight, but he edged it out, and then he just ran through Matt Schnell and honestly ran through Mateusz Nicolau. I had Nicolau also in that fight.
I believe so too.
That knee was nasty, and his striking's just gotten better. He kind of reminds me in a way of Nate Diaz a little bit. I'm trying to think of other guys because he's big for the weight class. He's long, he's quick, good athlete, but he's got nasty jiu-jitsu. I just I can't pinpoint him as a champion. I can't see that happening. I think he's going to get pieced up on the feet. I think if he tries to go to the ground with Pantoja has pound for pound some of the best jiu-jitsu in the UFC. One of the nastier, when he has your back, it's pretty much over. There's some guys when they get your back, it's probably over. Ricardo Ramos on this card is one of those guys, or on the weekend's card, I should say. Pantoja is the same way. So I'll be very interested to see how that fight goes, honestly. But those 2 fights back to back are very good. Maybe the main event's a snoozer, I guess, right? If Colby just takes it down and sits on him, but
I don't think it will be, but it could be. I think you have to think it could. It's
Colby's usually high volume on the feet for what it's worth. So I don't think it'll be a snoozer, but we'll see.
If Leon's not able to stop the takedown, it will be. But if he is, then it's going to be a good fight, I think.
So the main and co-main, good pairing. 295, great pairing. I like how they're starting these 2 cards off. They still got some work to do for 296. I mean, it only has 2 fights compared to 9 for 295, but I'm sure hopefully the main and co-main can at least stay together until we get there. Hopefully.
Colby Covington is a plus 114 underdog to Leon Edwards at minus 130. So that's going to be definitely a wagerable affair that night.
What did you say the Pereira line was?
It was similar, plus 110.
Okay.
Here we go, plus 110, minus 130, minus 130.
And John Jones probably a big favorite, I would assume.
Minus 420 on Caesars, minus 440 on FanDuel. I gotta be honest, Ty. I might be on Steve. That might just the value. That's too much value. I mean, I think he still wins, but what is him inside? You can't get it right now, but I mean, inside the distance is going to be what?
Give me John Jones sub, easy work.
Hey man, we have a lot of time.
Sub.
There's a lot of time for me to change my mind till then, but that's. Any other fights that we should talk about before we move on?
Stipe, by the way, 41 years old.
Yeah, it's
41.
Heavyweight's a little different though. I don't.
It is, but that's a little. That's a little much.
That's a little much. I agree. But anything else? Any other fights that we really should be breaking down or talking about?
We were supposed to have David Dvorak, Tatsuro Taira. That would have been honestly a big step for Taira, but that got canceled. I thought I saw a couple. Puna Haley, Soriano, and Dustin Stoltzfus. Yeah. Oof. Yeah. I'll be there. I will be there no matter what. Misha Tate.
Yeah, who cares?
So it's two fighters I absolutely despise watching. Misha Tate and Julia Avila are going to get in there together and do some nasty things.
In a cage.
Lucas Alexander, David Onama, that'll be a scrap. I can't wait for that one, actually. Mick Parkin, your boy, said he wants to fight Caio Machado. So 2 freshly signed Contender Series alum. I mean, Dana's just taking these guys. If you fight to a draw on the Contender Series, he'll probably sign you. So, yeah. So some of these fighters already getting their first go at it in the UFC. Nathaniel Wood, Muhammad Naimov, that'll be a fucking banger. Muhammad Naimov, scary guy. That's at 294. So
We got plenty of stuff coming up. When is 294? Oh, that's the one in Abu Dhabi. So we're gonna get to that one. But
another nice loaded card.
is this UFC Vegas 79 that we're about to talk about?
It's one of it's UFC Vegas something.
Yeah. Well, we're back in the Apex. It's been a little bit since we've been back there, which is I would say a good thing. But we have a whole
79. Yes,
it is 79. Thank God. I thought I was. Thought
You're
I had
on the ball,
something right
baby.
there. But yeah, man, I did my research today, baby. Rafael Fiziev, Mateusz Gamrot. Now, if you were in a lab cooking up a fight just for fun, this would be. I mean, let alone all the rankings and stuff like that. This is an absolute banger of a fight to just have. No matter what comes before this, and this card overall is pretty good, I would say, for a fight night comparison. Wouldn't you say?
it's not that bad. No, for sure. Honestly, I was kind of shitting on it, but then I was looking at it. I'm like, this. It's a small little card. It's not going to be like a 7-hour whole thing. You know what I mean? Like,
And we've seen some bad ones.
Yeah, we have, and I don't think this is necessarily a bad one. So, or an awful one. I mean, it's a lot of times comes down to the main event, right? Is the main event worth watching Hannah Goldie for? So,
No.
I guess we'll.
No. So, well, it is kind of, but it's just, I won't be locked in that early. I mean, this is a 4:00 start, which is a little early. I guess they want to get out of the way of boxing. I don't know. It always puzzles me why they start these fights or these cards when they do. I mean, this is going to be 1:00 local time for these people to be getting in the cage just like a fucking 1 a.m. or 1 p.m. kickoff in the NFL. So, but like we said, Rafael Fiziev, Mateusz Gamrot. Gamrot is coming off of, I believe, a win against Jalen Turner, a split decision, which was, a little closer, I guess, than it should have been. I think that was when I decided I'm never betting Gamrot again. And then before that, he kind of got embarrassed by Beneil Dariush. He really just couldn't get anything going in that fight. And Fiziev is coming off of a loss to Justin Gaethje the same night as the Edwards-Usman card. In a fight where he probably won the first round and then lost those preceding 2 rounds. But you're talking about Justin Gaethje, who's top 2-3 fighters in the lightweight division in the world. So really, like we talk about, you can't really hold that all against that. And same thing with Gamrot and the Dariush fight. You can't really hold that against some of these guys when things don't go their way. But odds-wise here, we have minus 155 for Rafael Fiziev, plus 130 for Mateusz Gamrot. I really like Fiziev in this spot, I'm going to say, before we get into the whole what we're going to bet. I don't know if there's a number here. I mean, maybe money line is just the way to go, and just kind of, you have to pay the because I don't know if I don't think he's gonna finish Mateusz. I mean, it's definitely possible, but I don't like decision or finish here in this fight. Mateusz has never been finished, and he got hit with an absolute nuke from Beneil Dariush, and he just rolled right over and got right back into it. It was a little scary the way he recovered. This guy's in incredible shape. He doesn't get tired, it seems. Has he been all 5 rounds is the question, though. I'm sure he has. But
yeah, he was with Sarukian.
Okay, that's right. And that was a great fight. So
Great fight.
I guess, I just don't know what we could bet here. I know the side I like. I think this is going to be contested mainly on the feet, and I think it's going to be, if Fiziev has his way, it's going to be a slower little, technical battle, but Gamrot's got to make it ugly. And Fiziev, although he's, 3 inches smaller, he's going to have a reach advantage of just a 1 inch, but it's just the fact that that's, a 2-inch height advantage for Mateusz, but a 1-inch reach advantage for the Tiger Muay Thai student. He's a coach there too, Rafael.
Yeah,
Fiziev,
I was going to say, I think he's like the leader.
Yeah, he's a leader. Shout out to the leader. But what do you like here? I guess I talked a little too much there.
No, I think it's, there's kind of a lot to talk about. I know it seems like conventional grappler versus striker, but both guys are just really good. Solid all around, can do a little bit of everything. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I think I have Fiziev. I think the Jalen Turner fight wasn't the best look. I know he won, but it was close. He didn't, he got knocked down. His strike output was low. He was kind of just only wanted to get to the ground. I think Fiziev has a little bit of takedown defense. I think his takedown defense is very high, if I am not mistaken. It's 90%. He got taken down by Artie Ailing a couple times. Other than that, he's only been taken down by Brad Rafael. I guess Justin Gaethje took him down, but people don't know, Justin Gaethje is a wrestler. That's who he is at heart. That's where he started. And Fiziev has gotten a couple takedowns over his career, but obviously, he's going to keep it striking. Has a negative punch, significant strike landed ratio. I think that a lot of that might be because of the Bobby Green fight, but it seems like Fiziev kind of reminds me a little bit of Chito Vera. Like, he'll take some shots, but he's always going to hit harder, and he's always going to, be more well-rounded. Obviously, he's got the amazing kicks. He's a great athlete. His hands still getting better. The Riddell fight was up until the knockout was close-ish. But I think I just think he does enough to win 3 rounds here. Maybe he can lose the 4th or 5th. Maybe he gets tired, and maybe Gamrot can get him down. Gamrot has just a unique style of wrestling. I feel like he goes for low singles, something that doesn't you don't really see in MMA that much. And his takedown accuracy isn't great, but he's going to get you down. He's going to shoot a lot of times. I think Jalen Turner, he was like 4 of 12. Dariush, he was 4 of 19. Armin Sarukian, he was 6 of 21. So he's relentless, man. And if Fiziev gets tired, or he throws a spinny shit or a big head kick or overextends, he might be fucked. I'm not sure, but I think I'm going to stay away from the main event betting wise, because I don't have success betting main events, for one, and 2, I don't know. I lean Fiziev, but I can see this going either way. I can see this going anyway.
So I'm going to tell you people that you probably should just take the money line and just get out of there. I think that's the smart thing to do. But I'm not smart, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take Fiziev TKO, and on FanDuel I can get it at plus 190. So I think if he's going to do it, it's going to be a TKO, and I think he's been dropped. How many times has Gamrot been dropped in these recent fights? I mean, did Guram drop him, right? Armin Sarukian dropped him. Dariush, like a lot of these people, and like you said, Jalen Turner dropped him too, right? I mean,
yeah.
It's just it's not to say that he can't recover, but this is you're going 25 minutes with an elite striker, and Fiziev is at the very top of the lightweight, and even in the UFC, of just technical striking ability. And there's a reason he's the coach down there. So I'm just gonna hope that Fiziev finds a way to get it done, and just gets him out of there. I mean, Gamrot, like you said, never's been finished, but he's also been in a couple of wars of recent. So this isn't exactly Jeremy Stevens or Diego Fajeda. This is Sarukian, Dariush, and Turner have all been battles where he has had to, and that's all just in the last year pretty much. So
I guess what I would say is, do you think Gamrot would fight Justin Gaethje to a very close fight? I don't think so. I think that'd be bad news for Mr. Gamrot. Yeah. So yeah, I think not MMA math doesn't always work, but I do think Fiziev has enough tools here to get it done. Get taken down a couple times, sure, but you can get taken down, but I want you to get up, work your way back, work to the fence. You know what I mean? And I think he can do that. I think he might be the stronger fighter. Maybe I never know how to go. Calculate that really. I guess besides maybe looking at their physique, but even then, that doesn't really matter. I mean, look at Alexa Grasso. Do you think she's stronger than Valentina Shevchenko? Probably not, but she hits harder. So you're like, very hard to really know. But yeah, I think Fiziev gets it done here. I think he has enough to at least win 3 rounds, maybe more. And if it stays standing long enough, dude, he can definitely knock him out. He can definitely hurt him. And if he has you hurt, he's going to follow up and get you out of there. So
yeah, I really probably shouldn't. You shouldn't, if you don't like the money line here, you probably shouldn't bet this. Because I don't feel confident. But that's kind of, I'm trying to do the stuff that I think what I think is going to happen, and then or what I think should happen. Then I just try to kind of go the opposite sometimes. That's the Contender Series showed me that that fucking what was his name, Gaziev, just submitting that big pig after he knocked him down like that. I was like, of course. I should have known whatever the plus 400 thing was going to hit, and it wound up hitting, So, how about Bryce Mitchell getting back in there,
Absolute pig.
He was, dude, he was a pig. I didn't realize they were like, yeah, he stopped training for 10 years. I'm like, what? Then he gets back, and I'm like, oh, the guy.
Yeah, he was with the Padres.
Yeah. No, that was Greg Velasco. That's.
I thought that's who you were talking about.
Gaziev is the one who just stopped training. He's like, I had to get a job. I have to. And then he's like, I decided to come back, and then he's like was training with Cyril Gane or something like that. And
Well, he's the first fighter from Bahrain to get a contract. So
well, he's actually
there
from
you go.
Dagestan. That's why I was cracking me up. I'm like, dude, he's from Dagestan. He's just training out of Bahrain, which I'm like, okay,
Repping Bahrain.
good for you, man. But who cares? How about Bryce Mitchell's getting back in there, dude, against 50K Dan Ige. This is, I love the UFC, man. They match make incredible. This is going to be a fun fight. -200 for Bryce Mitchell, +165. Bryce Mitchell saying that he'd beat the shit out of Ilia Topuria if he got the chance again. Not so sure about that.
Yeah, that's good.
Dan Ige is coming off of, I believe, a win, right? Yeah, 2 wins in a row. Nate Landwehr, that was a fun fight, and what was that, Nunes Aldana? Oh my god, those are some of those nights where they just leave my brain immediately.
UFC 289, never heard of her.
Yeah, I mean Charles Oliveira, that was it though. Mike Malott, Dan Ige, Nate Landwehr.
Was that Canada where my entire night got ruined? Yeah,
Marc-Andre Barrios.
Sweep.
Yeah, there wasn't a Canadian that lost on that whole card, dude. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, I bet against like all of them.
Shout out Steve Erceg, by the way. So I guess, Ty, I would ask you, what do you like in this fight? I mean, Dan Ige, is he going to get just taken down and mauled like it seems like Bryce Mitchell does with everyone but Ilia Topuria?
I mean, Bryce Mitchell has that farm boy strength. And he also, I feel like he's a little underrated with his hands, right? He was touching up Topuria a little bit before before the finish. Drop Barbosa, I think. Obviously that's not the path he wants to take for sure, especially in a 3-rounder. But I think it being a 3-rounder might help Ige a little bit. I think his takedown defense isn't great, but it's getting better. His get up game is getting better. A lot of that is Movsar Evloev, and Movsar Evloev is a fucking tank. I mean, that guy is going to take down pretty much everybody he fights multiple times. I think he fought Bryce Mitchell, yeah.
Oh, Movsar?
No, he did not. Okay, I thought he was supposed to, but
I thought so too. But yeah, he was. It was a canceled out. Twice.
Jeez. So I think just in my gut, I think I'm going to take Dan Ige money line. I think the big question is, can he create separation from those takedowns? Like, can he keep him at range, keep him away from him, and just lull him into a striking match? I mean, he's going to be the shorter guy, but he's got a longer reach. I think 3 pounds of height he's giving up. He lands, almost 1.5 more strikes per minute. He absorbs a lot more, but he's just a much better all-around striker. Bryce Mitchell does have some awkward side kicks, I guess, that he uses, but in general, I think Ige has that wrestling background, I believe. He's in a good camp, right, with Strickland and them. Yeah, he's never been submitted. He was in that nasty arm triangle against my boy, the Bosnian fella, Mirsad Bektic, and he didn't tap.
My boy, the Bosnian fella.
I used to fucking love Mirsad Bektic. And then he won that fight by split, but he got out of nasty arm triangle. And he's had some. He's had some ups and downs, man. He really has, and I kind of started to doubt him after, I guess the Evloev fight, after the Emmett fight, after the Korean Zombie fight. I was like, man, I think he might be done, or at least done at the higher level. But he's won 2 in a row. I know, the Damon Jackson fight. I had Ige inside the distance, and I was waiting a little too long for him to get that finish, but he got it, and then he beat Nate Landwehr in a fight where he got the takedown. Nate Landwehr, again, 2 guys that aren't the best in Damon Jackson and Nate Landwehr, but I do have a lot of concerns about Bryce Mitchell in general, and not even just the way he fights and whatnot. I feel like his ceiling's definitely capped. I don't think he'll ever fight for a belt or anything. I just, his takedown game is, he goes after it, but accuracy is not good. He's very sloppy. There's a lot going on with him outside the cage. He's not the smartest guy. His fight IQ has never really been that good. He's just kind of gotten away with things. The whole thing with his girlfriend, him trying to break into her house and all that, that's just never a good look. So I feel like that might play a factor in it. yeah, I think I like Dan Ige here a lot.
Really?
I'm not confident in Dan Ige really ever, but I think he's on a roll now. He's with a good camp. He's finally, he's got off the schneid, if you will, losing 4 out of 5. I mean, I'm sure he thought he was done. He got taken down like 15 times in that span. So, yeah, I'm gonna look for him to continue his winning ways. I just get me to a split decision, and I'll feel really good about this value. Just don't get 30-27. But hey, it's definitely a possibility. That's why Bryce Mitchell's the favorite. I just think this line's a bit stretched out, just a little bit. So give me Dan Ige money line.
Wow. Ige money line. Your first bet of the night is a plus 170. I like that. I'm gonna go Mitchell decision minus 105. That is my pick. I just think Ige has shown that he, although can stop the takedown, he eventually does get taken down. I think Mitchell's going to win enough minutes in this fight. I think it's just going to kind of be a really close, like you said, like this could go either way. So I guess I agree with your bet. Just kind of, if it's going to be that close, why don't I take the plus 170 underdog? I just going to think that the takedowns and the groundwork is just going to, win him some minutes, win him enough of this fight. But if this fight stays standing, I think he's going to sleep. So, because Ige throws hard, man. But how about Marina Rodriguez and Michelle Waterson Gomez? Okay, make sure you get that name right when you say it. It's Waterson Gomez. She has been on a little bit of a losing streak since she picked up the Gomez in her name. It's not been a good look, but she is a plus 200 underdog here, 250, 275 to Marina Rodriguez is minus 310, 300. I mean, really, this just screams to me, stay away. I mean,
they just fought.
Yeah, like
why are we running it back?
I don't get it at all. They have nothing to do with either one of these ladies, so they're just having them fight. So
I guess they're on a combined 5-fight losing streak. I guess they're like, you know what? The loser gets cut.
Yeah, like and Marina, I am so done with her after some of these recent performances. I just, I not only can you not trust her, it's just she gets finished by Amanda Lemos, which is, that's probably everybody could have happened to, but she got dominated by Virna Jandiroba, which maybe that's more to say about what Jandiroba had going on, but
bad matchup.
Yeah, I just think this is a bad matchup for Michelle. I think this is probably a decision. This is a decision either way, obviously, and I think probably Rodriguez is. I mean, I don't understand what's going to be different here in this fight. The decision is minus 155. I'm not betting this fight, so I'm going to stay away and want nothing to do with it. But I guess that's probably the way to go here. I don't think I don't see Michelle Waterson Gomez getting finished here.
Yeah, probably not, right? I mean, she got finished against Amanda Lemos in that guillotine, but kind of crazy that Michelle Waterson Gomez 6-7 in the UFC. I feel like she had so much success, but she also didn't really, and she fought, kind of the best of the best, at least at certain points. Carla, Joanna, Tisha, Rose, Marina, Amanda Lemos. I mean, that's a lot of title winners and contenders. So she's had a great career. I remember I was at her fight with who was it? Was it Carolina?
Yeah,
in Philly, and man, she looks. Seeing her close up and when she was doing her training,
fast,
she looks so fast and so fine. But I just I don't really know what else she has other than the good her sidekicks. Those are good. They definitely keep people away in that distance. And when she's fighting somebody taller and longer, it can kind of bridge that gap. But that's it. She doesn't really have hands. She's I wouldn't say a punching bag. I think she does a good job of not absorbing the full damage of a shot, if you will. But she gets hit a lot. Her strike. She's not going to win striking battles ever. She's not that fast. She doesn't really have power. Doesn't throw good combos. Her fight IQ is not the best. We've seen that happen in multiple fights of hers. I think it was the first Marina Rodriguez fight. She tried to throw. She tried an head and arm throw. I think, unless that was against Luana Pinheiro, I'm not sure. Low volume. She doesn't really ever have high volume, here and there. But I just think Marina Rodriguez has her covered everywhere. I mean, She dominated her. She dominated her in the first fight. It was what, a 5-rounder, I believe, and the first 3 rounds anyway. She dominated her, and then she kind of got tired, got taken down, and then she wasn't able to get back up. That's the story of Marina Rodriguez's career. She dominates people on the feet, goes to the ground. She doesn't know what she's doing. Just has no idea what she's doing. I couldn't believe the Randa Marcos fight. That was in like 2018. I was watching. I couldn't believe she had no idea how to get up from the ground with Randa Marcos on top of her. That chick was like 12-12 in her career. Sneaky hot also. But like, what the fuck, man? I've always liked Marina Rodriguez because I've seen her hands. I mean, remember she knocked out Amanda Ribas. She was the first one to expose, not the first one. I think the first one was Polyana Viana to expose Amanda Ribas' chin, but at the UFC level, man, that was Poirier McGregor. She had her on ice skates. So like we've seen what she can do, but now you're starting to see her get older, right? She's 30. She kind of hit the UFC at 31, 32. Like that's when she blew up, which is your prime as an athlete. But now, that you're 31 fighting, earlier in the middle of your career, 35, 36, right around the corner. And here we are, 36 years old. She turns 37 next, let's see, April. I have to count real quick. So, like, she's probably done. Michelle Waterson-Gomez, I think we know, is pretty much done. This is just kind of like a waste of time, I feel like. Honestly, I feel like Marina Rodriguez to win by decision is the most obvious bet here. I'm sure it's probably minus 150 or higher, but that's what I'm not going to bet it just because I'm not betting either one of these women, but especially Marina Rodriguez. I made a very mental note to myself to never bet her again, so I will be staying away.
Yep, and I'm in agreement. Like the pick is minus 155 Rodriguez decision, but I'm not putting it on the card because I like you said, mental note was made after that Virna Jandiroba fight. Not doing
never
that
again.
And I could see a world where Michelle Waterson takes her down, and like you said,
she could definitely get her down,
but she didn't do it last time. And what would make you think that it's going to happen this time? I don't
exactly.
And when was that? That was a main event, dude. That was 5 rounds.
Yeah,
what a horrible night.
pathetic.
Alex Morano knocked out Donald Cerrone that night.
Oh man, I had money on Mr.
Neil
Morano.
Magny beat Jeff Neal. What a night, Jesus! Gregor Gillespie knocked out Diego Fajeda.
Got back in the
whatever.
Column.
I mean, where is he? The gift.
Gregor Gillespie. I don't know. The gift.
I mean, he fought that one time. He came back after getting sent to the Shadow Realm, but then you never saw him again. Kind of just had to get that win back, but.
Well, he was making a bunch of social media posts, right?
He's a Trumper, right? Is that what's going on? Yeah.
I thought he was posting some wild things around January 6th.
I'm
sure
he's one
of those fellas.
Good job, guys. You're like, oh, dude, relax. Get in there. You're like, dude, that's not what you're supposed to. You're on the wrong side here, pal.
7-1 in the UFC. Very forgotten about fighter, I think, Gregor Gillespie.
And without that Kevin Lee head kick to oblivion, he's probably fighting for a title at some point, right? I mean,
also beat Sidney Outlaw on the regional scene, so kind of and Chepe Mariscal. Wow. So a very
underrated.
When you look at it, honestly, but he's just I don't know where he is.
He doesn't know.
Also fighting out of he still doesn't know. He still doesn't know where he is. So
how about Brian Battle, my boy? This is my boy getting in there against A.J. Fletcher. A.J. Fletcher is a guy who has cost us some money in the past. But don't know if I don't remember who we had in the Garimbo fight, but he lost
definitely
to
not Garimbo.
Definitely didn't. Yeah, definitely didn't bet Garimbo. But Matthew Semmelsberger took a loss to him, so he's 1-2 in the UFC. Brian Battle is coming off of an elimination of what's his name, Gabe Green, who kind of just lost his mind and ran across the octagon throwing bombs.
He also missed weight for that, Mr. Battle.
He did. And his only loss is to in the UFC is to Fakhretdinov, who probably would have done that to anyone. So I don't.
He absolutely walked him through hell and back.
And he didn't get finished though. I always give people credit for that. He did not quit, and he could have quit. There was plenty of opportunity to quit in that fight.
Would you say he won the war, but he lost the battle?
You know what? You are fucking. He's fighting fucking Zaleski, dude. That's the next fight that they'll be those two.
That'll be scary.
Fakhretdinov's probably gonna walk through him, but that's in
somebody's getting
November.
Fucking walked down.
So back to this fight though, Gabe Green. Jesus Christ. Brian Battle is a minus 190 favorite to AJ Fletcher's plus 150, 160. I love Brian Battle. I don't know if there's a bettable side here. I don't like AJ Fletcher. I believe has never been finished. So, and these guys kind of 9-2 versus 10-2. They're very similar in that sense. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I'll wait to hear what you say before I give my final determination.
Yeah, AJ Fletcher, shortest reach in the division, I believe. He's got a 10-inch reach disadvantage in this fight with Brian Battle. The thing is, Brian Battle fights on the back foot every fight. That's what he does. He backs up and he fights off of his back foot all the time. So I don't think that will matter. And I think he's probably lined as the favorite because of the Gabe Green elimination. I think if they run it back, Gabe Green probably beats him. Maybe.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think so. Takashi Sato, I mean, he knocked him out. That was all fun and well, but that guy was cooked by then. The Urbina fight, when he made his debut, it was getting real sketchy up until the rear naked choke. I just don't think he's that good. He's tough. He's very tough. But even the Trayshawn Gore fight, he got taken down a couple times. I think AJ Fletcher, listen, I don't think he has bad cardio. I just think he has bad pacing. I think the Angelusa fight, he went out like a fucking wild man. And then, he was cooked after one. I think, I thought he fought really, really well with Matthew Semmelsberger. And that was his first UFC fight. Like, pretty tough to fight that guy, even as a seasoned vet, let alone whatever he was, 8-1 fighter. I don't think he has the best striking in the world for sure. I mean, or the best fight IQ. He throws spinning kicks, which sometimes works, but sometimes can get you in trouble. Trains at Factory X in Colorado, I believe. So I don't really have any issue with his cardio. I don't think it should be an issue. I think he's improving. He's only 26. So I think AJ Fletcher gets it done here. I think he gets some aggressive takedowns. I think he gets a lot of top time. I think, I don't know. I don't want to say he wins striking exchanges, but I don't think he's going to get destroyed on the feet. I just think he gets him down here. And I think that's how he gets it done. Maybe he submits him, maybe he doesn't. But give me AJ Fletcher money line. I think he exposes Brian Battle here. That's what I got.
I like how me and you are on the opposite side of some of these. And I was not going to stay away from this, but the second I heard Fletcher money line, I got triggered. And I started looking around, and now I'm going to take Battle Decision plus 225. I'm going to count on this Apex being a little bit of a shell shock thing. So I got Battle Decision plus 225. I imagine he kind of wins by backing up the whole time and just kind of points him here and there. Maybe he backs him. I don't know. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, you don't know, baby. We're in your head, baby. The ghost Fletcher.
Jesus Christ! No, is AJ Fletcher the gentleman that's from Louisiana originally?
Sadly, he is. He's from the boot. He went to ULL, the fake Louisiana state.
Right.
They think they are Louisiana State University.
Lafayette. That's right. Fighting out of Lafayette, Louisiana. And when I hear that, I know another gentleman who fights out of Lafayette, Louisiana, and I will never support that place. So. Give me Brian
Daniel
Battle.
Cormier,
decision.
Baby.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Brian Battle was born in Springfield, Missouri.
That's
right?
Scum the Diamond.
Yeah, Conor the Diamond McGregor. I think AJ Fletcher wins here. I think he rolls. I think he knocks him out in the first 25 seconds.
Oh, come on. Let's go, baby.
No,
I can't wait.
I was just kidding. But I do think he wins.
Air Jourdain getting back in there, man. How about this?
This is a banger.
Charles Jourdain and Ricardo Ramos. When is the last time Ricardo Ramos has gotten in there? We have minus 142, 150 for Charles Jourdain to Ricardo Ramos' plus 120
it's been a
to
while.
125. It seems like it's been a while since Ricardo Ramos fought.
Remember he was supposed to fight Austin Lingo, and he came in at 160.
That's right. So
and
it's
they're
been
we can't do this fight.
Over a year.
It's been a year.
Danny
Yeah.
Chavez, he spinning back elbowed him.
Smoked that motherfucker.
Before that, he lost to Zubaira Tukhugov. That is not good. It's never good to have
was your
that on
boy.
the record. No, I hate
is
that
your-
fucking guy. man. Don't make no mistake. I hate that guy.
He has a KO1 over Conor McGregor. Fun fact.
No, he does not. He got put to sleep that night. And the last blow was to his brother. No, but I don't know what I like here, dude. I think I like Charles Jourdain. I've never been a huge Ricardo Ramos guy. He's good, but he's just not. I don't know. This is going to be just a wild fight, so I don't know if it's really bettable because you don't really know what version of either one of these guys is going to show up.
Yeah, remember Ricardo Ramos almost got guillotined by Journey Newson. That was a brutal. That would have been a brutal look. So I like Ricardo Ramos, man. He's got very, very, very good pressure, especially early. But then after that, that's it starts to get a little weird. Also, he has 3 spinning attack knockouts in the UFC, which is crazy. He has the spinning back elbow against Danny Chavez, the spinning back elbow against Ayman Zahabi, and I believe, I guess I might have that incorrect. Maybe he's been involved in 3 because remember he got spinning back kicked against Saeed Nurmagomedov.
Right. Yeah.
So maybe that's what I meant. But he's got elite back taste. Like I said earlier, once he gets your back, man, you're probably cooked. Also, I heard after the Ayman Zahabi fight, he didn't really take things serious and was kind of partying a lot, and that's why he was in a close fight with Kung Ho Kong. That's why he lost to Saeed Nurmagomedov. That's why he almost lost to Journey Newson. Maybe that's just what I heard. The Algeo fight was good, but also sketchy, right? He got outstruck by Bill Algeo. And then the Tukhugov fight lost that.
Senor Perfecto for everyone out there.
He's still. It's crazy that Ramos is still young. I mean, both these guys are still young, really. I think they're both born in '95, just like you and I. So
perfect matchup.
Perfect. I love Charles Jourdain. Right, he dropped and guillotined Lando after in a good fight. And like I said about Ramos, he almost got guillotined by Journey Newson. Just something to keep an eye on. Maybe. Jourdain. I know it's hard to guillotine guys, especially Ricardo Ramos, but Charles Jourdain, man, he's very underrated in his all-around game, but he just, he leaves a lot to be desired also at the same time, right? I mean, the Shane Burgos fight, I think he got fucked over. I think he won that fight. The Nathaniel Wood was just a tough battle, man. He just got kind of dominated. Not dominate, but, clearly
got beat to the punch. Yeah, he really did just the whole night.
I like Jourdain's volume, especially late. He's got good boxing. He's got good body work. His takedown defense, a little iffy, but it's obviously something he's working on. I always forget how young he is. Both these guys. Again, I know I just mentioned they were both born in '95, but guys are not perfect in their mid to late 20s. They're not even close to their final form. So I like Ramos's leg kicks. I think he throws a lot of spinny shit, and I think that might get him in trouble here. But I think Jourdain throws a lot of stuff that could get him in trouble. I don't know what's going to happen. I kind of like the under 2.5, but also, I think I'm going to stay away from this fight. I think there's a lot of variance in this fight, and I don't know what's going to happen. Just kind of like the main event. I like both these guys. If I had a lean, it would be Charles Jourdain. Just honestly, I feel safe to take his money line, but I'm going to stay away.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Charles Jourdain wins this fight, but I just don't know how he gets it done. I don't know if it's going to be one of those kind of like decisions where this guy just keeps outlast. Like they each take bombs and then they just, the fight just keeps on going. It seems like seemingly just keeps going and keeps going. It's been a year, like you said, since Danny Chavez. I don't like that. It's the last time we saw Ricardo Ramos, he came in like 10 pounds overweight for the Austin Lingo fight. That was like really a bad look. And I don't know. I'm going to hope all this means that Ricardo Ramos is, like you said, there's been stuff in the past where he just hasn't taken this shit as serious as he probably should. And I think Charles Jourdain looked good in the Crone Gracie fight. He didn't, he was smart. He didn't fuck around on the ground.
He did what he had to do. That guy didn't show up to fight.
No, and that's how you have to fight guys like that, where they just, you can't go follow those guys to the ground. It's a trap. That's what they want you to do, and that's why a guy like Alex Caceres gets, rear naked choked by him and shit like that. So I'm going to go Charles Jourdain inside the distance, my first ITD of the day, plus 215. I just think that Ricardo Ramos, like you said, maybe he gets caught doing something spinny shit or something bad happens where he just kind of creates a bad situation for himself. So Jourdain plus 215 inside the distance. And we keep it moving. This is now we are now through the main card. We are now on to the prelims. This is going to be a long podcast, ladies and gentlemen. Miles,
we're almost done.
Yeah, we're almost done. Though we run through these. Miles Johns, Dan Argueta. Dan Argueta was on the Ultimate Fighter. I have to tell everyone the Ultimate Fighter because I am the biggest Ultimate Fighter fan. He is a minus 180 favorite to Miles Johns is plus 155. So Dan Argueta is minus 180. Miles Johns plus 155. I guess Ty, I'll ask you. I just never have been a fan of Miles Johns. I don't, I just don't think he's that good. But I guess I'll ask you what you. I don't really feel good about this. I just like Dan Arguetta's wrestling and his kind of tenacity in some of these fights, and even the one. What was the one fight he lost? He kind of looked good at.
Damon Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. And, he lost to Ricky Tercios on the Ultimate Fighter, which
bad look.
Bad luck, but it was only a 2-round fight.
I mean, he should have a win against Ronnie Lawrence. What happened is, I believe, who was the fucking ref for that? I think it was Keith Peterson. If he would have just waited a little bit, he got a little antsy. If he would have waited a little bit, I think Ronnie Lawrence was tapped. He was ready to tap.
Yes.
I think. And I had a bet on Ronnie Lawrence. So, and obviously he beat that bum Nick Aguirre.
That's right. I had fucking Argueta money. That now I remember that. I got fucking screwed.
No
That my
nonsense.
night went downhill after that. Yeah. Because he was the underdog,
That's usually
right?
how it works.
Yeah, he was like plus 170. He was plus 170
Yeah.
by the time it went down. Motherfucker. Now I'm pissed again. Now I'm betting Dan Argueta.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm betting Miles Johns money.
Oh,
line.
come
I think
on.
I think Miles Johns is battle tested. He has a high school wrestling background. He was the captain on his high school team as a freshman. He generally has good takedown defense, 92%. He works closely with trains closely, I should say, with Gamrot Armfield, who I like Gamrot Armfield a lot.
So do
honestly,
I.
I think he's got some potential. Potentially, see what I did there.
Hey.
And when he fought the last time we saw him against Vince Morales, wasn't a great fight, wasn't a great look, but he took that on like a 10 days notice without his corner. Like he didn't have anybody in his corner at all. I think he's definitely been a letdown multiple times. The Castaneda fight that was just a huge letdown. The Mario Bautista fight, I know looking back on it wasn't that bad, but I think the hype around Miles Johns at that point was pretty much at its highest, right? And then after that loss, after the late win against Kevin Natividad, and then a late win against Dos Santos, the Batista fight, honestly, the Cole Smith fight where he almost lost. I can see why guys are not big Miles Johns fans. I just think Dan Argueta, his striking defense is just terrible. It's just so bad. His wrestling's good. It's okay. I don't think it's amazing. Damon Jackson cracked him. I think that's kind of a I don't want to say red flag. I think that was a tough fight. But I do remember when Argueta fought, what was his fucking name? Diego Silva in LFA. He won that. He barely won that fight, but he got hurt and he got broken late. Silva did. But Argueta almost lost that one, man. And he's, obviously the Tercios fight, that losing that guy just shouldn't happen. I believe Dan Argueta is still at a smallish gym that he trains in. I'm not completely sure, but I think Miles Johns is better on the feet. I think he's going to be able to keep him off him. I think he might even be able to get some success wrestling. I just worry about Miles Johns gassing. That's what I worry about. So, I think he can win 2 rounds easily or finish him. So I got Miles Johns money line. I think he gets it done. Battle tested. Dan Argueta hasn't really been here. I know he has. His last fight was pretty good, but Ronnie Lawrence has some quitting him. I got Miles Johns here.
For the record, we're at Jackson Wink now, Dan Argueta.
Oh, okay.
So
that's not bad. But also Jackson Wink's kind of fallen on hard times lately. But
Miles Johns plus 155 for you. You are all money line on the underdogs tonight. You are Fade City today. I am going to take Argueta decision plus 170. So it's crazy. Me and you were doing the exact opposite of what we always do. I always bet inside the distances, and you always kind of you don't really you're not a big underdog guy, so you don't really fire all these underdogs. But
shout out to Dave Greenlaw. That's the underdog king.
yeah, and this is what happens when you bet. Or when you are sitting here betting an Apex card. That's kind of, on a random Saturday. This is what you have to do. You have to kind of just fuck around.
If I have to lose all these for you to become rich, it's a small price to pay.
Yeah, honestly, same to
salvation.
you, man. We're just trying to make each other some money here. So
yeah, somebody needs to.
How about this, dude? This is a fucking little sneaky fight here. The Dirty Bird, Tim Means, getting in there against Andre Filaho. These are guys who go to sleep. I mean, they both go to sleep with seemingly regularity. I mean,
I know I don't.
Yeah, Tim Means, I guess I shouldn't say go to sleep. He's got 19 KOs, 2 KO losses. He's got 5 submission losses to his I'm sorry, 7 submission losses to his 5 submissions. So he's got on a 3-fight losing streak where he's been
it's been rough
guillotined
lately.
and he lost a split decision. Now Falaho just seems like if you touch him, he's going to sleep these days. He had a little bit of a run there when he was. What was he knocking out? Baeza, and then he destroyed Cameron Van Camp. But then, Jake Matthews and fucking Muslim Salikov and Joaquin Buck, they all just took turns
smoked him,
sending him to the shadow realm. We got Tim Means is plus 163. I'm sorry, 136, 135 to a 165 for Andre Filaho. Ty, I don't know really what I would bet. I might move on to your camp. I don't really trust either one of these guys. I think Tim Means just does not take a shot well, but I guess he doesn't get KO'd all that often. I really don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah. He's been durable most of his career, but it's starting to go, man. His durability is definitely starting to wane. I believe he knows he's almost done. I think he's pretty much talked about it in interviews. Like, yeah, it's almost the end of the road. That's never good. I mean, I guess it is good that he knows, and he's not an idiot. Like, oh, this is my last. I'm gonna, try to get a title shot and get some wins. It's like, all right. Well, you've lost 3 in a row. So, yeah, I think he's been getting more takedowns as of late. It seems like obviously he's just an absolute seasoned vet. He relies a lot, especially maybe now at his old age, on pressure. And I think, Andre Fialho, when he gets pressured, it's when he, pretty much doesn't throw, going backwards, doesn't really throw much, and that's when he gets hit. He's very, very chinny. I know he has power in his hands, but it seems like he gets caught in the middle of an exchange, in between punches, much more than he catches other guys. So I don't know if it's just, a combination of things, his boxing kind of being sloppy and his chin just being right there and his chin not being good. He's pretty much overhand right, left hook, leg kick. That's like all he is, Fialho. It's just, he throws very hard. I mean, looking at his striking numbers, 3 strikes per landed per minute, significant, and 5.6 absorbed per minute. That is just, that's not good. Striking accuracy, 39%. His striking defense, 50%. Just, bad numbers all around. I guess you'd just be hoping on him catching an older, aging fighter, really, which I guess is possible. But Tim Means over the course of his career has been obviously, look what he did to Mike Perry. That fight was awesome. Obviously, the Kevin Holland fight didn't go his way. Never was going to. The Max Griffin fight was very close. I know he got knocked down. It's probably what really cost him. And the Murata fight, I thought he was winning up until he shot a nasty guillotine takedown and got guillotined. So I want to take Tim Means plus 140, and I am going to take Tim Means plus 140. I think Andre Fialho stinks. I don't think he's a fighter that should be a favorite over almost anybody unless they're brand new to the UFC and they're very, like 6-1 or something like that. Dude, Tim Means, again, I understand what's going to happen, but or what could happen, that he gets caught, but why can't he catch Andre Fialho? Why can't he knock Andre Fialho out? You know what I mean?
He absolutely can.
And why can't he just easily out-grapple Andre Fialho? Or outlast him? I think he has much more I think he's all around better. All around the better fighter. But, I'm sure he's going to get caught with something big, and everyone's going to be like, see? Andre Fialho, that's why he was inside. So, I don't care. Give me Tim Means, money line, plus 140. I want to take his inside the distance, but I'm just being a money line king tonight.
I really like under 1.5 plus 112. I'm not going to take it, though. But that is something that jumped out at me right away because I think somebody's going to sleep here. I know that this fight does not go decision is minus 240. So
it's a good parlay piece.
Yeah, if that's something that you want to bet, then I like that. But I'm going to go, you're not going to like this, Fialho TKO plus 110. I'm just going to...
Come on!
Yeah, I'm telling you, listen. I'm going to count on there being the 10-year age gap, which is insane. Fialho seems like he should be 39 and Means be a little bit younger than him, but no, Fialho is a young guy who cannot take a shot well. I don't know if Tim Means does, I don't know. I'm just going to count on him. He's really looked rough these last 3 times out. And
yeah.
So I'm just going to hope that kind of trend repeats itself. And listen, Falaho is kill or be killed. I'm gonna hope he does the killing here. So
he's dead. He's gonna get fucking slaughtered like a lamb.
I can't wait. We are on the opposite side this entire.
We are eating Andre Fiallo stew for dinner, folks.
Cody Brundage is a plus 480 underdog to Jacob Malkoun's minus 550. I think this is 100% an overcorrection. Jacob Malkoun.
Yeah, but I guess that's kind of warranted after his performance against Mr. Dumas.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, Cody Brundage, he's 8-5, and it just seems like he has a lot of quit in him. And, that Trayshawn Gore version of him doesn't always show up. Or when he just smoked Dolce and, it just, this is a guy who has a loss to Nick Maximov. And listen, this almost seems unbettable. So I don't really, Jacob Malkoun, what would you get him at? I don't even know, what would be the...
I don't even know what you would bet on him to do.
Submission?
Maybe.
Probably not, right? Maybe.
But he doesn't even have a submission.
Exactly. So, TKO is plus 250. Inside the distance is plus 110.
I would just take the over. Maybe even not. I don't
think this is bettable. I'm probably going to stay away.
Yeah. Honestly, I could see... I would feel gross afterwards, but I could see a world where I would be like, let's take a shot on Cody Brundage money line. But,
Either way, you're going to feel gross.
Do you know how many strikes Cody Brundage has landed in the Dumas, Oleksiejczuk, and Dolce fights combined?
Probably 7.
7?
Yep. I didn't even know that. I just took a total number, I guess, because I was like, he didn't throw shit in any of those fights.
His career high is 28, and that was in a 3-round fight against Nick Maximov, which he lost.
Boring.
He is he's just not very good. I don't know. I don't know. He can definitely get you in some spots, but he also just fucks himself constantly. Just constantly is tripping over his own feet. I don't know what his problem is, but
he quit in the Dumas fight, by the way, completely.
Over 2.5 is minus 120. Just interesting. Yeah, he definitely did. I think Jacob Malkoun is Robert Whittaker's wrestling coach, right?
Something along those lines.
He has all kinds of different takedowns, trips, and single legs and double legs. He has some boxing experience, but obviously he took some shots from Maximov, so that's not where his bread is buttered. He also might have won the Allen fight. I think he still lost, but he made it very close, and I was not expecting that at all. Honestly, he's got good top control. He's pretty athletic. He's not athletic, I should say. He's very persistent to kind of make up for his lack of athleticism. Not that fast, not that doesn't hit hard. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But Cody Brundage, just no gas tank, no IQ. Remember he almost finished Rodolfo Vieira, didn't get it done, and then he was cooked. Then he was done. It's like he didn't get the finish, and then he just gave up. He has good chokes and he has decent power, but that's pretty much it, right? I don't know what else he really has to his name. He kind of has a couple fluke wins, like the Dolce fight. He was getting smoked, and then he just got him in a guillotine. The Trayshawn Gore fight, whatever. I just think he's the ultimate front runner. Low output. He's a quitter. Apparently, he's a world beater in the gym, in practice, in training camp. He can't be fucking taken down. He can't be beat. He outstrikes everybody in sparring matches. Everybody says he's just an absolute champion in the gym, but it doesn't show up in the fight. The lights shine the brightest, and he just he wilts. So. Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to say about this fight. I think Malkoun probably just out-wrestles him to a 30-27 victory. I feel like if you want to, if you can bet Malkoun unanimous decision, I don't know if that's even bettable, but that's probably what I think happens in this fight.
Yeah, the only thing that stops me or gives me concern there is that the quitting aspect of him. He really does. Cedricus didn't really know what he was doing on the ground, so I think that's why he wasn't really able to get that finish. I could see a world where Malkoun kind of just smashes him and gets him out of there. So I'm going to bet that inside the distance, plus 110, and just kind of hope for the same version. But like you said, I'm not going to be the guy who bets Brundage and is on the other side where he's mad that the thing that he knew exactly was going to happen happened. So,
yeah.
I could, like you said, though, I could definitely see it. Brundage is inside the distance is plus 650. I don't know. I just don't. Cody Brundage, like you said, it's either it goes his way right away or he quits within the first 2 minutes and it's over. So I'm going to count on him quitting like he has 5 other times. So Mo Usman. Oh, boy. Here we go. Mo Usman. Jake Collier getting in here. We have Mo Usman's only a minus 135 favorite here to Jake Collier's plus 120. This is a kind of just fat guys getting in there, and we really don't know who's going to win or who's going to lose.
Not sure I'd call Mo Usman fat, but
well, I mean, is he small?
No, but he's built like a tank.
Well, yes, but I'm going to go Mo Usman here. I am the auto fade on Jake Collier. It has always been like that for me, pretty much, the prototype. He hasn't been a prototype in some time. Lost to Martin Boudet. He gets cleaned out by Chris Barnett. He gets the split decision
almost knocked him out.
Arlovsky, yeah, but I mean, who doesn't? He beat Chase Sherman, but that's it.
Hey!
John Vellante. There you go.
That's a good win.
Marcel Fortuna. I know you were
win.
a big fan of his. He gets eliminated by Tom Aspinall in the first minute of the fight. So
he's been in the UFC since 2014.
He was supposed to fight Walter, man.
That seems like an absolute fever dream that he's been in the UFC since 2014. He should have been. He was supposed to be the sacrificial lamb here to Mr. Walter Walker. It's unfortunate that this didn't happen. Was that supposed to be at light heavyweight?
No way, really?
Or heavyweight? No, I'm asking. I don't know.
265. Walter's a heavyweight.
Oh man, that's pretty terrifying for the entire world. The Clean Monster, by the way, just an absolute amazing nickname. We need to rebook him ASAP. Maybe he's not clean yet. Maybe that's why we have to rebook
the problem.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about this fight. Jake Collier's a blown up middleweight. He's a hard worker, but he's not very talented. He's got some blubber, as you like to call it.
Yeah.
Mo Usman's a big boy, but he's slow and rigid, I guess is the best way to explain it. But he does have power. He's landing less than one significant strike per minute in the UFC, so that's not great. But I feel like I feel like he's stronger, quicker, hits harder than Jake Collier. I feel like he should have the wrestling success. I don't know. I don't know what happens in this fight. Yeah. I mean, it's such a close line that it makes me want to pick somebody, but I'm definitely not going to. So I'm staying away. I think Mo Usman cleans him out, or I don't know. I just don't know. So I'm staying away.
What if I told you that Mo Usman inside the distance is plus 225? Would that change your mind at all?
No.
Well, that's what I'm taking. So Mo Usman inside the distance plus 225. Jake Collier on auto fade. That's just kind of how it goes. I could see this being the most boring fight of all time, me losing money, but I'm going to count on the heavyweights getting each other out of there. How about Mizuki Inoue against Hannah Goldie? This is gross. This is disgusting. Hannah Goldie's going down to 115. I think her last fight was at 125 where she got spinning elbowed and finished by Meatball Molly McCann. Now, my partner here, he has been the probably the biggest detractor of Hannah Goldie that you could probably imagine in all of the MMA podcast game. Nobody hates her more than Ty does. So we're getting Mizuki's in there for the first time since 2020 where she got a decision loss handed to her by Amanda Lemos, which is not, looking back, not that bad. But is there a reason she's been off for 3 years? I mean, she's never KO'd anybody, and she's never been KO'd. So
she tore her ACL.
That's not good.
That was a big. I mean, hey, 3 years off though. Shout out to Trayvon Diggs, but I think.
Come on.
I'm giving him a shout out. Yeah, I mean, listen, Hannah Goldie. She's a good looking gal, and she's also shredded.
She is shredded.
That's about it. That's about. She's also fighting out of Tampa, so maybe I can find her downtown one day and buy her a drink. And hopefully she doesn't armbar me on the bar.
She probably will.
Yeah, I mean, listen. She lets me get a double leg on her. She's going down. No, I don't know. It's
Who cares? Mizuki, I mean, you don't even have to act like you really care about this. I mean, really.
Mizuki Inoue got outstruck by Yanan Wu. Who? Yanan Wu. She got outstruck by her. She won, but she got outstruck by her. That's just, that just can't happen. I know it was 4 years ago, but yeah, that can't happen. And Hannah Goldie is, what is she, 1-3 in the UFC? I mean, dude, losing to Miranda Granger is, it's not, it's not good. Danger Granger is I think she's lost every fight since she beat Hannah Goldie. Yeah, she has. She got Von Flue choked by Corey McKenna. Oh, my God. She lost to Ashley Yoder. So I just, Hannah Goldie's one win being Emily Whitmire, who is, bottom of the barrel. And she shouldn't even won that fight. Emily Whitmire she gave her arm literally on purpose. I feel like she tried to lose. I feel like she had a money line bet on Hannah Goldie. I don't know what happens in this fight. I think Mizuki Inoue is a bit of a, I don't know, what do you want to call her? Like a spark plug. She's small and she's quick, but that's like it. She has like quick hands. But they're both pretty much on the smaller side. I don't know. Hannah Goldie peaked on the Contender Series. She tries to fight at range and point fight, but she's not really good at that. I think Mizuki Inoue wins, but being minus 325 is just kind of wild for somebody that got outstruck by Yanan Wu. So give me a nice hard pass on this one.
You think she could sub her?
Why not?
I mean, she does have 9 subs to her name. She's never been subbed, and she's subbed 9 times. So
Mizuki Inoue sub feels like a sneaky play.
And I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to take it. Inoue submission plus 340. I don't really feel confident. I would suggest everyone stay away from this. But
the Contender Series submissions that we hit really got you in the mood to itch on some more, huh?
Well, I just want action, man, and that's all I'm about. I love action. So plus 330, that is a big time number. I like that number for somebody who's minus 300. Who I don't feel good about this at all. So I'm going to keep moving. Montserrat Rendon. Not to be confused with Anthony.
Yeah, let's go.
She is fucking shredded, dude. Oh my God, her Tapology picture. She's got a 15 pack. Jesus Christ. She
also has a large upper body in general.
Yeah,
I would say.
Yeah, you could say that. She's fighting Tamires Vidal, who we have both talked about. She kind of looks like young MA. So she's coming off of a win against Ramona Pascual. Listen, Ty, do you have
worst fighter to ever grace the UFC?
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I mean the young MA reference is wild, but I think Anthony Rendon here is. I went back and watched her her fight against Brittany Cloudy. It's gonna be Cloudy out, and man, I thought she lost that fight, and that chick is pretty bad. It turns out she's 6-5. The Quiet Storm, Brittany Cloudy. She has a win over nobody I know. So she's lost to Haley Cohen. She lost to Erin Blanchfield in a split in Erin Blanchfield's first fight. She loses a bunch of splits, but I thought this was a pretty close fight that I watched. I was like, man, this chick making her debut. I don't know. She's only 5-0. She seems pretty slow, like very, very slow, but she's willing to trade and she throws a lot of volume. So I do like that. She's a Mexican warrior, so she's not going to quit. A typical Mexico versus Brazil fight here. Tamires Vidal, I feel like she's the favorite because of her flying knee knockout win, and also I'm pretty sure her flying knee hit Ramona Pascual like on the chest. So, I think that's Ramona Pascual looks like you'd find her working at your local wherever. I won't even say any specific place, but she's working downtown somewhere. She also missed weight badly against Vidal. She's just, I don't know where they found her, and they're like, hey, come to UFC. But
she's not good.
Yeah, she's, I guess she's supposed to fight Amanda Libra. Is she on PFL? Oh, my goodness. The thing I can't get over is when I went back and watched Tamires Vidal fight against Aileen Perez in like a 4x4 gym in the middle of like the woods somewhere, in a fight where Tamires Vidal won via illegal knee. Pretty much, I don't know if you remember this, Aileen Perez did every illegal strike action known to man under the sun at least once, including multiple illegal knees. And Tamires Vidal pretty much said, I'm not going to stand up. I quit. And she got the win. So between me and you, she's 6-2, not 7-1. But that's neither here nor there. I got Montserrat Rendon money line. Give me the underdog in this fight. Send me home, Anthony Rendon.
So one of us is going to make some money, and one of us is not here as well. So you got Rendon, Anthony Rendon plus 210 here on the money line. Let me just tell everyone out there, don't bet this fight. I'm not gonna lie to you, but Tamiris Vidal, I'm gonna bet on the fact that this other girl is not gonna have enough juice for her, and that she's gonna quit. And
yeah, all right.
I'm gonna go Vidal inside the. Don't bet this fight.
Get me
Vidal,
the fuck out of here.
Vidal inside the distance plus 250.
That's just terrible.
Let me live. So that is UFC Vegas 79.
Let me cook.
You have 5 plays. I have way too many. I have 9, I believe. So, do you have any? I don't even feel like talking about the Bellator. I really could care less.
No.
No. I mean, Johnny Eblin's going to walk through Fabian. Aaron Pico's a minus 1,200 favorite.
Picograms.
There's really nothing bettable here other than maybe you want to fade Peter Quelly, but he's minus 600. So Danielle is not that good.
Yeah, Sabah Hamazi's on this card, so that's good. Daniel Weichel has like 95 Bellator fights. He's back against Mads Burnell, who has like 80. Sinead Kavanaugh, she's getting in there with Sarah Collins, who I believe is a singer, a backup singer, is what she does in her free time. No, Charlie Ward's fighting Gregory Bobine, who's 22-11. Not sure who that is.
Minus 300 favorite, by the way.
Oh, here's a good one. Zabit's younger brother, Hassan Magomed Sharipov, is getting back in there. He is 3-0. Jesus Christ. He's 3-0 in Bellator. He's only 22, so he is looking to pick up where Zabit abruptly left off to become a doctor. Davi Gallon is getting back in there. Mr. Davi is, he's getting back in there. Who else? There's 21 fights in this fucking card. That is just,
Who cares? Ben Stiller's daughter is getting in there, Mackenzie Stiller. So good to see her active.
Yeah, Furkan Korkmaz's brother, Attila, is on this card, it appears. So he's fighting out of Germany, which is not where Furkan fights out of, but he has to hide where he's from. He doesn't want to get jumped again, So he's fighting Davi Gallon, and I think our boy Korkmaz is plus 120. Dude, give me Korkmaz's brother, money line, plus 120.
This fight card starts at 11 a.m. Oh, it's
not going to end till 11 p.m.
Yeah, they're going to be there all day.
Maybe later.
20 fights. All right.
That's crazy.
I guess Magomed Sharipov had another fight that got kind of canceled, so now he's fighting some gentleman that has a lot of tattoos. So there you go. There's Bellator 299. Next one is the last one, supposedly, but I guess then they're going to keep it going, so who knows?
Nobody knows. I don't know.
Who cares, honestly, too, if we're being honest. But that is the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast. Do you have
also, real quick?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think Val Grosso 3 is next, I believe. After the Noche, Dana White was, I believe, on vacation, of course. But after the Contender Series, he was there and was made available to speak. Yeah, and then he said Blanchfield Fierro is next. So I'm pretty sure we anticipated that. Anyway, I think we might have spoken into existence. I don't know.
She got a fucked up hand though, so I guess it's going to be a while until we see it.
Yeah, she has to get surgery, right? Did I say surgery right? I feel like I just said it.
No,
weird.
You did. It sounded right to me.
Okay.
I don't know if you did, but
I'm pretty much
yeah,
very
we're
lethargic.
cooked here. I can't believe we went this long, but Blanchfield and Fierro should run it after or next. So to kind of figure out who's next, but. That's all, guys. This is the fourth quarter. I checked out of the game. I asked for a sub.
We're playing prevent defense. And
we're already up 30 points. I'm on the bench waving my towel right now. So that is the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast. My name is Matt McSweeney.
As Ty Capone here. As always, make sure you buy a plunger before you need a plunger.
Always, and make sure you have toilet paper on deck.